On this episode, listen to me, your host, J.L., destroy the gun debate and the meaning of the Second Amendment. Let's go ahead and jump in. The right to bear arms. That's what true freedom is, guys. It's a hot topic. It's been debated multiple times, but over the last 30 years, there's been multiple different things that have been put in place for gun legislation. However, any person who knows how to read understands that all firearm legislation is unconstitutional. Why is that? Well, let's take a look here. Let's actually look at the actual text of the Second Amendment. It states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. See, this is a part that comes up into play a lot, is the well-regulated militia argument. Many of the less educated folks like to use the well-regulated militia portion of the Second Amendment to try and argue their point. What they are really showing is that they lack basic knowledge and education that comes from grammar school. Comma placement is important. As you heard me say, the commas there. In fact, comma placement makes the entire difference in how a sentence can be read. The phrase well-regulated in 1776 actually meant in working order, not regulated with government oversight. Anyone who tries to use this argument needs to go back to third grade and try their grammar skills out again. The other problem with his argument is that the people are the militia. A militia during the time of the Revolution consisted of any able-bodied person over the age of 12 who wanted to fight. There were 16-year-olds leading men into battle. However, today, our 16-year-olds eat Tide Pods and snort condoms. But the left still wants to lower the voting age while restricting other rights. Makes total sense, right? Another problem that comes about into this whole gun safety argument is you see a lot of people talking about, I have the right to go shopping without fearing for my life. Sorry, no, you don't. You have the right to bear arms in order to defend yourself, but safety is never a guarantee. You cannot legislate away violence. You can't stop accidents, no matter how hard you try. Craziness, violence, theft, and crime are going to run rampant throughout human history and are going to continue to do so. The only way to effectively combat it is to give up all of your rights. And even then, corruption and human nature still take over. You'll still have the same problems, albeit on a smaller scale, at least as far as gun violence. You're going to have many other problems if you give up all of your rights, because then the government gets to dictate everything that you do. And that's the same government that, by the way, just got done telling you who you could and couldn't marry. But yeah, let's let them tell us who can and can't own firearms. That makes total sense. I'm going to go ahead and close. This is going to be a fairly short one because we're going to come back to this gun control topic numerous times. But I want to give you guys a scenario to think about. And I want you, when I have some comments and things like that, I want you guys to answer these questions and everything. But I want to give you a scenario first. Imagine for a moment that you're a 120-pound female getting off of her shift in the city at night. You're walking back to your car and you notice 2 or 3 men following you, all easily twice your weight. Now, in my scenario, the woman is able to pull out her firearm and question the men following her and possibly defend herself from an attack. In the gun control advocates scenario, what is the solution? Are you going to wait for the police to show up afterwards and not test their rape kits? You're going to cry, die? What some of these mom demand actions people have said is to pee on yourself. Sorry, that's not going to stop a crazy person. Gun control doesn't protect citizens. It makes it harder for them to protect themselves when their rights are restricted. As I mentioned, this isn't over. There will be many more discussions on this topic, and I welcome anyone to come on the show and try to make a case for more gun legislation. I challenge all of you, Piers Morgan, Alyssa Milano, anybody from Moms Demand Action, David Hogue, Emma Gonzalez. I challenge all of you. How do you plan on taking guns away from criminals? How do you plan on ensuring the safety of my family in a break-in, which means, by the way, less than a 60-second response time from police, no matter what location I'm in? How do you plan on preventing other items from being used, as has been done in the UK and other countries where they've put in this other legislation? And my other question is why do you only talk about the guns when you bring up other countries? You realize these other countries also have multiple different healthcare options. They've got numerous other differences, such as in Japan. You realize that in Japan, when a teacher is sick, they don't even need a substitute. The kids go in, they clean up after themselves, they still do their work and everything else. You couldn't do that here in the United States. It's a respect thing. There's numerous other differences between us and these other countries. So before you start trying to bring up, oh, well, why doesn't it happen there? How about you look at the big picture? Because that's not how science works. That's not how facts and statistics work. And once again, remember, folks, the First Amendment is great, but Charles Manson merely spoke his crimes into existence. Hitler amassed a country behind his words. Words are far stronger than any weapons. Use them wisely and teach others. Leave the hatred behind. On the next episode, we're going to be talking about racism, Black Lives Matter, media portrayal, and whether or not it's still an issue in today's world. Join us next time. Thank you.